And look, the Chargers might have had a different outcome if J.K. Dobbins, their great running back, the former Raven, hadn't exited with a knee injury. He had 6 carries for 40 yards early as part of that effort to build the 10-point lead that ultimately went away. But if he doesn't leave the game with the knee injury, and there's no update, Jim Harbaugh after the game said he had no update, but apparently after the game he was out on the field and hugging Ravens players, and so it doesn't look dire, but you never know. You never know with a potentially serious knee injury. It was enough to knock him out of the game, and that was enough to knock the Chargers' offense off kilter.
Exactly. And we keep talking about these backs, and Gus Edwards is a good back, also another former Baltimore Raven. And the difference is some of the things J.K. Dobbins can get to on the field, his quickness, his speed. You felt it in the beginning part of the game when the Chargers were able to drive down the field and score a touchdown and then get another good drive and kick a field goal. It was a lot on J.K. Dobbins, and it wasn't like it was just hand the ball off, hand the ball off. He was having some good 10, 11, 12-yard runs where he was able to just make guys miss in a short area spot on the field. And that to me was the difference. Like when you come in, and I think for Greg Roman, as he's game planning, like you're game planning, like you're going to have this guy and some of the things you want to get to, you need him in there. And then when you lose that guy and then you fall behind a little bit, it changes things because even for Gus Edwards, I don't think he's more of their, third down back or a guy like that. So game plan wise, losing J.K. Dobbins hurt. And I think J.K. Dobbins has been an unbelievable story this year of how he's come back from all of these kind of very serious injuries, knee, Achilles, but he just continues to show up, and he's been the bell cow for this team this year. And it felt like it deflated them a little bit of being able to go forward and try to establish that run game the way they did early in the game. But again, this is something that I think will be interesting this offseason when you look at all of these teams and where they either fell to or what ended up happening with their season of, all right, how much do we put into finding running backs who change the way we operate? Like, are we going to go and search for them? Are we going to go back to the draft? Are, older running backs that are going to be free agents, are they going to have more of an emergence and importance to teams because of what Derrick Henry, Josh Jacobs, Saquon Barkley, Joe Mixon, like maybe because of what these guys are doing now? I think a key part for all of these backs will be how they finish the season and go into the playoffs, because that's the thought for a lot of people around the league of, okay, you get this good back, like nobody's saying they're not still good, but if I use them a good amount during the season, do I lose that in the postseason because they tire down? That'll be a key part to end this season. But if I'm a GM or I'm in any front office, to me, you got to be sitting there saying, all right, how do we get one of these game-changing backs into our building to help our quarterback and help our offense be good?
And you think about how that has turned. It wasn't that long ago, grand scheme of things. Late in the offseason, 2023, the running backs beside themselves. How do we get a bigger piece of the pie? They had a Zoom call with running backs trying to strategize on what to do. Hell, it led to a grievance because the former NFLPA president, J.C. Treader, made that very ill-advised comment that, hey, one of the things you can do is basically fake an injury. He didn't say it quite that expressly, but it was pretty damn close, and there's a grievance pending over this suggestion that you exert leverage by faking an injury, but it all traces to the idea that the running backs, no matter what they did, couldn't get paid. The reality is the guys who deserve it are going to get it. The best of the best are going to get it. The guys who are just kind of the churning, maybe, hey, they have an opportunity to become great. Let's see what you do. But the guys who are just the, wait, we need a running back. Here's one here. Oh, wait, I need another running back. Here's one here. The best of the best, hopefully, after this year. I didn't even mention Joe Mixon. That's another one where the Bengals decided, we can't afford this anymore. And he's been, even though he was bottled up by the Titans this past weekend, he's been a very special player for the Texans this year. So, yeah, now this year it may be the demand outpaces supply, Devin, because you're going to have all these teams, copycat league. What do we need? What do we need to get over the top next year? We need a Saquon Barkley. We need a Derrick Henry. We need a Josh Jacobs. All right, go get one. Boss, they're sold out at the store. There aren't any. There aren't any. Or the ones that are there know it, and they want to be paid accordingly. And that's how the market changes for running backs.
Exactly. Even as you were saying that first point of, the guys that are going to get it are going to be the guys who are really good. But like that's what the market wants. If I'm another player, if I'm a running back, I want to see Saquon Barkley's number go up. I want to see all these guys, Derrick Henry. I want to see Joe Mixon. I want to see Josh Jacobs. I want to see, hey, can they do this for another year and then go to the front office and say, hey, this contract's not good enough right now. I want more. Because soon as those guys get more, instead of me being at maybe $2.5 or $3 million a year, now I'm at $5 or $6 million because other guys who have shined well this year too that are maybe not on that level. You look at DeAndre Swift, look at Tony Pollard for Tennessee. Like these guys have come in, and when we watch Tennessee play, when we watch Chicago play, we're like, they need to hand these guys the ball off. They need to get the ball to these guys to take the pressure off of the quarterback. So how many guys can we get, or as we look throughout the league, if I'm in the front office, what are the guys or who are the guys I can get to, for one, just take the pressure off of the quarterback? And as we look at even the Giants, Tyrone Tracy and Devin Singletary, good running backs, they've helped out, but they haven't been able to truly take the pressure off of the quarterback position. And that's led to them just not having a good year. And, the last team I'll bring up, even with these running backs, is look at Tampa Bay. They went and they lost Mike Evans, they lost Chris Godwin, and I know it was just the Giants last week, but they've been super competitive in all of these games without their two stud receivers, and it's been primarily because of Bucky Irvin and Rachaad White, having two running backs who have versatility, can do multiple things. So I think these teams have really put on a show of what it looks like when you go and get not even just a top back, but a back that you say, hey, like this guy's special. He does something different that other guys can't do. And I think there's going to be a premium put on guys that can go and be difference makers on teams. And these guys need to know it and make sure that they push and drive this market up now so it'll pay off for guys going forward.
Hi, it's Mike Florio. Thanks for watching PFT on YouTube. Hit subscribe for the latest news and analysis from Pro Football Talk.